Welcome to episode 53 of Realty Talk, and it is just me today. Ellie is in Hawaii. We will ask all about that when she returns, so I will spare you those details. I'm sure she'll love to talk about it. So basically, kind of a solo Realty Talk right now. So basically at this point in time, we are hitting about midway through the first quarter of the year. Kind of giving a recap so far on the local market. I don't think it's really slowing down at all. I find that the buyers are still looking. I've had a ton of buyer or showing requests since the beginning of the year. I've actually met with a lot of sellers that are prepping to put their home on, which is natural. We're going to see a lot of those listings coming on, probably in the next couple months, which would be good because we obviously want to have options for people and things that they can purchase. So right now, it's really trying to be creative in the sense of trying to get listings and then trying to also, strategically help buyers and sellers navigate the, basically what is a seller's market, meaning that our inventory is low, lowest, and I did the numbers last year, lowest numbers we've had in a while, and the amount of sales have gone up. So obviously that just depletes the rest of the listings that we have out there. So we're pretty much in a spot where listings are still things that we're looking for. New construction, development, these are all other aspects and things that we're hopefully going to see over the next few years become more popular and more regular occurrences in our area, considering that the amount of people moving out of the area and listing their home is not where it should be, which is a good thing. I hope those people do stay in the area, but we're also getting a lot of people moving to the area and a lot of people that have very strong buying power because, just saving. And again, from 10 years ago when we had the housing collapse, we've talked about that people weren't able to get loans back then, just because the way the lending was done back then was not done correctly. If you want to read up on that, you can. Big Short, that was a great movie a few years back that goes basically over that whole debacle that happened. But now that we're into a position where buyers, this is all they've ever known. A lot of the first-time buyers, again, over the last 10 years are now late 20s, early 30s, or even 40. And it didn't really affect them much back then because they weren't in a position to buy, and now are. Well, now they can buy. So it's a good thing. But again, we're not seeing listings come on as much. And again, our new construction is pretty much we have some, but compared to a lot of places, we are almost zero. So hopefully that becomes more prevalent. My topic today is I want to talk about rejection. It's kind of a topic that I think some people want to shy away from, and I think if you're in the real estate business, rejection is part of our lives. I think over 10 years, I've become I got a lot of thick skin. It takes a lot to offend me. It takes a lot to make me think negatively, makes me think or dwell or feel bad. Beginning of my career, I took it more personally. As I've gotten older, it's just part of the business. I realized that not everybody's going to want to use you. And if they don't want to use you, it doesn't mean they don't like you as a person. It just means for whatever reason, you and them either aren't on the same page or just personality-wise don't mix or whatever. I've had a couple of those recently, and I get them a lot less frequently than I used to. But to be honest, it's stuff that happens every year. And again, I'm human. It bothers me. I would be lying if it says it doesn't bother me, but I don't dwell on it for a long time. And when I say that, I mean I dwell on it for probably a minute. And I'll be very honest on that. It doesn't. I'm kind of to the point now where if somebody doesn't want to, deal with me or use me, there's a lot of people that do. So then I shift my focus to the people that want to use me. And really, when I get rejections now, it makes me. It makes me question the person a little bit, and not because I respect what they want to do. I just have a lot of confidence in myself, which I think you also need in this business, which gets you over these hurdles, is that I really think that I'm really good at what I do. And not from a cocky standpoint or anything like that, but I think I've had 10 years where I've, again, kind of earned the right to have that confidence. I've seen a lot, I've done a lot, I've grown a lot, I've put a lot of time and effort and energy into this business. So when somebody doesn't want to use me, I look at that as like almost disappointed for them because I know I can help them out. And I look at a lot of situations that I just believe I have what it takes. I have the knowledge. I have a very good thought process, and I think I analyze things the way they should, and I think I take things seriously, and I think I really look at the end result for that buyer or seller. So that's kind of the position I come from, which allows me to get over rejection very easily, because I look at a situation like that and say, well, they're letting themselves down, and it could be true, it could not be true, but that's the way I think. So I don't get down on myself. I don't look at myself as any lesser than I was before. I don't decide I want to quit the business. I don't look at myself as a failure. I look at myself and say, is there something I could have changed? 100%. I like to learn from every situation, so I'm always trying to kind of gain insight. If somebody doesn't want to use me, well, why not? Okay, and then kind of see, is there anything I can do, or is there any reason why I should fix it? Sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's just, hey, personalities don't mesh, and it is what it is. I'm not going to fake my personality to try to appeal to people. I'm going to act my way, act myself, and knowing that the people that want to work with me will be people I will want to work with, because we're going to vibe very well and have a lot of the same personalities and thought process and stuff like that. So I always look at rejection as something that you can learn from, but also something that I push aside very quickly, knowing that I'm going to use my knowledge, my skill set to help somebody else. And somebody that wants to be helped, those are the people that I want to turn my attention to. And again, that didn't happen from day one. If you're a new agent and you're getting into the business, it's going to happen. We have a lot of new agents in our office, and a lot of it is I'm just waiting for that time where each of them experience that first rejection, and that could just be a quick no on the phone. That could be a client you show homes to, and all of a sudden buy a house through another agent. And you're like, wait, what the heck? I've been showing them homes for months, and all of a sudden they wrote up an offer with a different agent. Or hey, you see a listing come through the MLS, and it's somebody that and they listed with a different agent. And things like that, yes, do they make you upset, or this can make you angry? 100%. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that nobody owes you anything in real estate. If you do something and you expect somebody to owe you anything, you are in the wrong line of business. So that's another thing. I don't really have an expectation of anybody. Yes, I want to list everybody's home. I want to help everybody. I want all my friends and family to use me, but nobody owes me anything. They don't owe me their house to list. They don't owe me having to be their agent to help find a home. So I think if you kind of think of it that way too, where nobody owes you anything, there's a lot more calm, meaning I don't get upset. So when something like that happens, it's kind of like, it's disappointing, but hey, just keep working. And at the end of the day, if you're putting in the time and the hours, and you're doing the right things and you have the right intent, I think it goes a long ways. And to kind of piggyback off that, there's been plenty of times I might have known somebody and they used a different agent, and whatever the case may be, and that sucks, but hey, it is what it is. They don't owe me anything. Well, what happens? Maybe the house doesn't sell, or they don't find a home, or that agent isn't as good as they thought, and then guess what? You can get them again on the second round. And a lot of times I give the people benefit of the doubt. Maybe something happened that you're expecting something or you're assuming something happened, but it wasn't even close to that. I had one recently, met with a client. They said, hey, listen, I checked in on them, like, hey, we're going to go a different route, use a different agent. Okay, and then I asked him, I said, okay, that's totally fine. I respect it, but what's your reasoning? I just, for me, I want to, again, learn from the situation. If there's something that I didn't catch, I wanted to obviously try to fix that if I could for future situations. And they flat out just said, hey, listen, it's a family in the state, and one of the family members had a good relationship with another agent up here and felt more comfortable using them. And at the end of the day, that's fine. I mean, they had the relationship. I'm not going to go in and try to persuade them to use me. I respect that. If they have somebody they want to use, I totally respect someone doing that. It's a small area. Everybody here knows multiple agents. So I think, again, having that understanding that it's not personal, that, again, nothing's personal in business. I don't think that anybody's, it doesn't make you less of a person if they don't want to use you. And if anything, use it as a learning experience. And I think people too much take things personally in business. They don't want to talk to the person anymore or see the person. And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, it is what it is. We're still friends. I'm not going to lose a friendship over, a small transaction that's going to end up taking up 3 months to maybe a year tops of your life. So I always look at that. I mean, I've had family members use other agents. I've had ex-classmates use other agents. I've had ex-clients that I used and went back and used a different agent the second time around. I've even had current clients that all of a sudden you don't hear from them, and you find out that they bought a home through another agent. that happens every year to me. And I look at it and, you know, if I see those people on the streets or at a store or in a restaurant, I will still say hi. You know, I mean, it doesn't make me think any less of the person. I would have liked the courtesy call to say, hey, we're going another route, because it would save me a lot of the follow-up time that I did. But at the end of the day, again, nobody owes me anything. So I take that rejection as, again, like I said before, I can go on and I can help somebody different. So if you're new in real estate, realize that you will be rejected multiple times in your life. You will be rejected in year 1, year 10, 20, 30, 40. Don't take it personally. Learn from it, grow from it, move on, help other people or people that want to work with you. I think if you have to try to persuade someone to work with you, you're not really you're not starting off on the right foot. You want to work with people that want to work with you. It makes the relationship way better, more fun. You do a better job, you're happier, you want to help the people. So focus on the people that want to use you. And then when you have those people, put everything you can into those people, and give your best to them. And I think that's it. So rejection is the topic. Next week, I think next week Ellie will be back. If she's not, you guys are stuck with me for another week. Office quote of the day. I'm going to totally butcher this. Jordan's in house, so she can call me out on it, I guess. Let me see. I'm actually going to go super sappy one, because we just finished the series of The Office, so the final season. Which, if anybody's a true Office fan, you almost never want to watch the final season. It's kind of like Michael's final episode. Those are probably, am I right, Jordy? Probably the 2 episodes that you always want to skip. Maybe Scott's Tots, because that's very cringy. But I would say that when Michael leaves, that final episode, that's actually almost worse to me than the final episode, to be honest. But that one and then the final episode are both very, they're tough to get through for a true Office fan. They're very emotional. So the quote I want to use, actually, no, I'm gonna go with the one I had in my mind. It's when Andy Bernard, aka Nard Dog, gets up and he starts talking about his new career and stuff. And then again, this is a sappy one, but he gets up and says, "I wish I wish I knew I was in the good old days when I was in the good old days," which I think is just a classic. Don't take it. Don't wish days away or hope for the future. We all have plans and stuff for the future, but live in the moment. Realize that the people that are around you are going to be there, whether they're there all the way through your life or not. They're still a portion of your life, so enjoy the moments with them and know that every day is a good old day. Right, Jordy? Mm-hmm. Got very deep there. That's the only reason because I remember that one, but it's always one that kind of hits home. There's some other ones. There's some funny ones in that episode too, because it's a good episode. And it's Dwight's wedding, so obviously. Oh, and when Michael comes, actually, funny one. So when they go through, we're revamping back. When we go back, and Jim tells Dwight that he can't be as best as Schmidt or whatever. Oh yeah. And because he's not old enough, or the guy's got to be older. And all of a sudden he turns, and Michael Scott's standing there, and he looks at him. He goes, "Michael," he goes, "You came," and then he goes, "That's what she said." So that's it. That's it. We're out. Episode 53. See y'all next week.